Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we have found some challenge and we have some repairs to do. That is great. Now the question is, do we want to deploy before the financial report? I think the answer is probably no. We probably want to have the Boar's Head back. Let's go ahead and tick forward. We've got plenty of funds. Apparently the Capellans are excited about us existing. Good for them. Yeah, I really do think that we want the Boar's Head back. No, we're not going to go to Solaris. Not right now. I say that literally every time. We may never go to Solaris. We're going to continue to tick forward here, take this financial report. We've got plenty of cash. No concerns whatsoever on the cash front right now. In fact, we probably could have gone up to like extravagant if we wanted to, but we're going to let the Boar's Head finish. Although before we tick forward, I want to check the mech bay and see if any of the other mechs actually have issues. They don't. Keep in mind that the Awesome is actually just slightly underweight. Cool. So we're going to finish up the Boar's Head, and we're not expecting the Boar's Head to have any internal issues either, I don't think. Let's take a look at that. Any moment now, RogueTech. There you go. Excellent. So yeah, no problems whatsoever there. Let's hop into the barracks, do whatever training we have, although we're definitely getting close to having our mech warriors maxed. That's great. Bootcamp can definitely take a point of piloting.
Orders. What can I do?
What else do we got?
I'm here.
A point of guts for Muffin Top, sure.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Ready for orders. What do you need?
Anything else? I'm a little surprised Poet hasn't really been getting XP, but I mean, maybe I'm not. I don't think we've been using Poet. Fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough. Everything looks good, so let's hop into the command center and see what we've got available here. Although, actually, before we deploy, I kind of want to hop into navigation and see if we can find that test drive flashpoint. See if that's popped up. That's just a limited medium drop. This one up here is Bourbon and Battle Mechs. Yep, that's been there. Planetary Siege Defend. Okay. Test Drive. Okay, so that expires in 128 days. We'll be there in 34 days. To that end, we should deploy one more time. Now that we know where the flashpoint is... Look at that quad mech. Now that we know where the flashpoint is and how far away it is, we can make a proper plan for how we're going to get there. I do not want to go there right now since we just finished repairing, so we should do one final deploy here, although it should be something that we find difficult. Maybe we run this attack and defend. If we do this, it'll likely be a 2-episode mission. Attack and defends usually take a while. I guess that's okay. But, we run this. No free priority salvage. Actually, technically, this is a free priority salvage. We would run it here. So we wouldn't get a lot of salvage from it if we ran it like that. We could just run it max salvage. We have plenty of cash. Let's do that. And we'll deploy as is. We should still be able to shred through this, but this is a 6-skull difficulty and an attack and defend. So we are expecting to take some serious damage here. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I'm not sure we've done a 6-skull yet. This is also in a bad land, so our heat is going to be special. But this is going to be very, very interesting. Darius thinks that we are less than half of the strength required for this. I think that Darius is an idiot, so there's that. The real question is, how quickly do we shred through this, and how much damage do we take? I am fully expecting an attack and defend to be stretched out into 2 episodes, just because it's such a long thing. Like, there's a total of, what, 5 enemy lances plus turrets plus a base to destroy? It's a lot. Is what I'm saying. It's a whole lot. And because it's a 6-skull mission, we are expecting this to be quite intensive enemy lances. If we have to retreat, then that's okay. We'll see what happens. If we have to retreat, we'll try to get a good faith just to get some pay out of it. And then we will certainly retreat and head up to the test drive flashpoint. Either way, after this mission, we're going to head to the test drive flashpoint. And it's going to take some time to get there, 34 days. So we're just trying to get our mech repair bays working on the way and use that time a little more efficiently. That's all we're really looking to do there. But I want to get up there and get some quads. So we need to defend the local government base and destroy the Merrick base. Commander, our covert forces are poised to seize a Merrick prison facility where a large number of local government personnel are being held prisoner. However, the facility is protected by a nearby military base, and as soon as we seize the prison, they'll move against it and reduce those buildings to rubble before they let us extract those people. We'll be moving our own mechs and leopards in as quickly as we can, but before we can land them and extract the personnel, we need you to pacify that military base. My read on the situation is that by personnel, they mean covert operatives. You don't hire mechs to cover the retreat of clerical staff. Indeed, you don't. We have no idea what we're going to be up against, in all honesty. Okay, we've taken control of the facility. Do they have turrets? Or allies? Our forces are ready to assist in defending the base. Okay, so we have allies. I don't see turrets. This is the future evac zone. Right, we've played on this map a number of times. We're going to just drop over here. And we'll make our way up this way, dealing with the attacking force and the defending force. If we can get some frame rate here. It's always rough at the beginning. I don't see any enemy turrets up there.
Bad, right?
Okay.
Look at this place.
So we don't see enemy turrets.
From my actuators for weeks.
That's a good sign. Okay. We're going to continue to reserve past phase 14 so that this guy moves. And let's see what we've got here. Gauss rifle coming in on the boar's head. Completely missing. At this range, with 6 evasive pips, we expect that, but with us this clustered together, they could easily stray shot. So we'll reserve. They have at least 2 movements in phase 14, and now is when we will start moving. We should expect that our AMS is not going to last very long. Okay. So, who moves first? That is the Boar's Head. The Boar's Head is going to position up here in this cover. We see the Archer there. And then we see these guys up over here. For now, I think the Archer is the target. We will Warlord to boost these odds a little bit. And let's go ahead and fire.
This should be good.
Okay, so the Sniper Artillery getting a solid hit there. The Arrow 4 being pretty off target. Our friend has an Orion there that they're firing on this Hunchback with, and getting some armor damage. I like it.
By.
We're going to move up with the Mauler. The Mauler is not really going to be in a position to attack that Archer. We'll sprint forward, and we'll just pot-shot the ER large laser, like out at this Hunchy. We're really not expecting much of anything, and because of that, we're not going to fire the ammo-based weapon, and we don't want to build heat either. We're just going to dual fire the large lasers, and yeah, we expected nothing out of that, but we also lost nothing.
No luck.
Excellent.
Hey.
The Battlemaster is going to sprint on forward. It actually does get an obstructed LOS of that Archer, and we also see a Victor off over there. Okay. I would love to fire on that Archer with the Battlemaster. So, some 80 damage there into that Archer. Solid.
Commander.
Now, the Salamander might be able to get an LOS as well. Can we get an unobstructed LOS? The answer is no. Well, we can move up here, and we have decent hit odds. I think that this is a kill on the Archer.
Taking the shot.
At the very least, it's a knockdown, but I do think this is a kill. Ammo explosion there.
Solid connection.
Engine crit. A knockdown. Light PPC destruction. Another engine crit. The Archer is still up. but it took a beating there.
Yeah?
The Corsair is going to move up, and the Corsair is, of course, optimized for fighting at very long ranges. So we can fire at the Hunchy or at the Banshee out there, and the hit odds are best on the Hunchy. We're not expecting too much here, but we'll just pot shot it, see what we get. 50 damage into the Hunchy will do. So our friends have an Azura Mog X there. Don't really fire with it, so we're not entirely sure what it's got equipped. We could look. That sounds like work. So we're going to instead step forward with our Bull Shark. And I feel like firing at the Archer with the Bull Shark is a waste. Maybe the Victor, but I think that this Victor here is fairly centrally located. So let's fire at this guy and see if we get any splash damage.
Firing on target.
That's solid splash damage. I like it. Exactly what we were looking for there. Stormcrow. Okay, we're not... Did that stray shot us? No, no damage report. Okay, good. I was concerned for a moment there. I'm not going to lie. Now, the Orion is also optimized for long-range fighting. We're going to move the Orion up over to here. It could fire on the Archer and probably get the kill there. It can also fire off over this direction. Hit odds are not great, and it's round 1. So I think we're going to go for the kill on the Archer.
Let's see how you like this.
There we go. The Archer is dead.
Target
And now we know that there's 2 more attackers over here that we don't know about. Actually, there's this guy here. That's a Goliath. Right there. Interesting. So that's the first quad mech that we've run into. And it's not very good in terms of its loadout. Exciting. So yeah, that's our first quad mech that we've seen. Excellent. The Awesome is going to sprint forward, and it doesn't really get LOS on much of anything. We can pot shot the Victor over here. I don't think it's worth it on 6.2%, so we're just not going to do that. Okay. So, that's a Hunchback Cicada over there. Eyes on enemy units surrounding their base. Yep, we knew that, Sumire. That's not surprising. They fire on the Salamander, and they do get a hit with an AC-10 at that range. A little unfortunate that they hit, but it's certainly not the end of the world. The Salamander is going to step a bit forward here. I'm just checking LOSs, and this is, it seems, the best one. We're a little concerned about heat on this Victor, but we're certainly going to fire these missiles like so. Ooh, we destroyed the Ultra AC-20. That's actually really good.
It's getting hot in here.
We're very pleased about that. And let's see what they decide to do. They've got a full lance over here, and of course, 3/4 of a lance over here. They've got an Emperor over there and a Sorcerer. That Sorcerer could potentially... Ooh. A Gauss rifle coming on in there. Getting a solid hit on our Salamander. That is sad. The Awesome's going to move up over this way, though, and what we'd really love to do is kill this Victor. Hit odds are not tremendous, but we'll boost them a little bit.
Welcome to my alpha.
We missed both PPCs, sadly. Got a few hits with the rockets. Or rather, the missiles. Okay, what else do they have? Well, what you gonna move? The Cicada? Okay. They're just running off with the Cicada. We don't really care. That's completely fine. No concerns whatsoever there. The Orion is going to step forward over here. We would love to get a direct fire LOS over this way. We don't really get much of anything, so we're just going to step on forward.
On my way.
We'd love to fire out at that Hunchy or the Victor or the Banshee. And honestly, hit odds are the same on the Hunchy and the Victor. I think, given armor levels, we're more likely to see a kill on the Hunchy, so we'll go for that. That's a solid Gauss hit. And really nice LRM hits, actually, too. That Hunchy is very, very low on armor now. The enemy Victor closes in.
They've got a
Sensor locks our Salamander. and fires on the Awesome. Now, keep in mind, we already destroyed the AC-20 on that, the Ultra AC-20. So it could have done 200 extra damage there if we hadn't have done that. So that's great.
Wow.
Our Battle Master is just going to step slightly forward. This gives us a clear LOS on that
Moving
Victor,
to position.
and that is solid. We want that, for sure. Not the greatest hit odds, but that was some good shooting there, actually. With those hit odds, yeah, that was really good.
That looked like a critical hit.
Absolutely love it. Ooh. That Salamander is kind of getting wrecked. They're getting really good shots at that range. I mean, yeah, they sensor locked us and we only had the one evasion, but
I hear ya.
still, they're getting some really
Coordinates
solid
received.
hits over there. So as far as splash damage over here goes, I honestly think that we go for the Hunchy. This is potentially a kill here,
Firing.
so let's see what we get. Not great artillery shots there, but that is a knockdown on that Hunchy. And we'll take that for now. Okay, so we have two allied movements. The Asura moves up, fires on their Emperor. We saw some internal damage there, interestingly. Maybe tandem missiles? Okay, this Sorcerer's a little spooky, but it didn't fire. That's great. Next round, in fact, right now, we need to start focusing this Sorcerer. If we can.
Commander,
So the Bull Shark is going to step up over this way,
moving out.
and we're going to be dropping the Long Tom on the Sorcerer. This is an absolute necessity. We don't want it to open up with those dual MRM-40s. We know from our Salamander what that can do.
Engaging target.
Okay, so we got some damage in there. That's great. Our friend the Orion moves up, fires on the enemy Victor, gets a smattering of damage on it, takes off some armor. We do like that. Phase 11. This Emperor hasn't moved yet. Ooh, on the Salamander. Can you not? Can you not? Oh, man. MRM-40 crits twice.
Critical hit.
And maybe a
Critical.
knockdown. Yeah, we've gotten, honestly, they've had some really long-range shots on the Salamander with some heavy-hitting weapons.
Commander.
It's sad,
I'm hit.
but it's not the end of the world. We're going to move up with our Mauler here, and the Mauler is going to position right here. We're going to fire on that Sorcerer, I think. Yeah, it's got to be on the Sorcerer. What's our LOS block? Our Orion. Alternate locations to fire include the Hunchy. All of these are blocked by the Orion. Every single one of them. Well, not the Victor. You know, we could just lob LRMs at the Victor and just hope to get something. The Victor doesn't have any weapons left. Engine destruction. That works.
Target neutralized.
We'll go for that. Now, our Salamander is in serious danger right now, and what does it have exposed? Like, they've done tons of armor damage to the Salamander super, super quickly, but it's actually just this torso, but there's only one remaining in it. 1 HP.
Yep.
Our Corsair is going to sprint forward. Our Corsair is
What do you
going to
need?
sprint forward, and we're going to attempt to block this off a little bit. We're going to position it here, which is not a full block,
Confirmed.
and we're going to fire on the Sorcerer. Everything that we can get, we're going to Warlord it to boost clustering. We're going to be firing into this side arc.
Okay, I'm on it.
We missed one of those Gausses on like 85%. Yikes. That's okay. We got a lot of armor stripped off the Sorcerer,
Mess him up. Mess him up.
but they
good.
move immediately in phase 23. Their Hunchback gets up in phase 23. That's insane. The knockdown didn't reserve back the Hunchy. He's going to go for the Salamander. If he hits that one torso, I'm going to be upset. Okay. Good.
Light damage, Commander.
It's literally only the one location, and they've hit it multiple times. We do get to stand up our Salamander, and our Salamander is really heavily shredded at this point. So we kind of do have to disengage the Salamander as much as possible. if we position it back here, let's see, it's the left-hand side that we need to protect. This kind of does protect that. It exposes the right-hand side to these mechs up here. But we can do this,
Roger.
and then Vigilance, and then fire on the Emperor. Although our hit odds are quite bad here. Failed our sensor roll and just stood up. So actually, I'm just going to brace it. Okay. Phase 16, they're probably going to continue to shoot at the Salamander. It's what they should do, even despite the bracing. But they're going for the Battlemaster and missing with the Gauss. I like it. That's fantastic.
Standing by.
So our Orion is going to step forward to here to shield the Salamander a bit. And we're going to go, I think, for the Emperor. We still want to be attacking the Sorcerer, though. And actually, these are good LRM hit odds. Into that weakened side arc. Do it. Okay. I want that Sorcerer
Target's taking
dead.
critical hit.
Like, super duper dead. Phase 16, what are they going to move? What indeed? Oh, that's the Cicada. Okay, we don't care about the Cicada, really. Not getting any hits. I like it.
Waiting for
Next
orders.
up, I'd love to move the Awesome here. It doesn't reach. So we're going to have to position it here.
Rolling.
We're going to fire the LRM-20 into the Sorcerer. We're going to hope that we get a kill on the Sorcerer. It's possible if we get that MRM ammo to blow up. But I think it's pretty unlikely, if I'm honest. What's in this arm? Not a whole lot. Okay.
Locking on.
A fair amount of torso armor damage there. Phase 14, the Sorcerer moves in phase 12. Okay, that's that Banshee moving up. Firing on the Orion. Once again, getting some pretty good shots from super long range. I mean, it's not super surprising that they're able to hit those, but
I'm here.
it's a little sad. We're going to move forward with our Battlemaster to this position right here. This gives us an unobstructed shot at the Sorcerer, and we're going to take that. Everything we can get into this torso. We are hoping that at least we remove one of their MRM-40s here.
Firing Alpha Strike.
That was a bunch of crits and a knockdown. That reserves him back, which gives us more time. Actually, it destroys him. He dies from the knockdown. Cool. So the MGD moves up. Doesn't really do much of note.
What can I do for you?
Our boar's head is going to step forward over here.
Uh-huh.
And at this point, these guys are super clustered together. So we're going to fire on the Hunchback. Do it.
Take this.
Good splash damage there. Injury resistance on the
When I
Hunchy.
shoot you,
That's okay.
you'll take it and like it. My heat getting pretty high.
Oh yeah, we walked through fire.
Shutting down.
That's my
My
own
mech
fault.
Can't take the heat.
I didn't even notice that we walked through fire. 100% my own fault. The Hunchy's dead. Our ally manages to destroy it. The Emperor moves up. The Atlas is a good target at this point, but it goes for the building. Okay. So our allies are going to fall back to the base. That's fine. They can do that.
Aye, aye.
The Bull Shark is now going to stay exactly where it's at, and we want to fire on this forward Victor.
We'll go.
Not a great long tom shot, but it's okay. And some decent LRM damage. Means that that's a Victor knockdown. Sounds great. Okay. The Goliath moves up, fires on that Victor. I mean, the Goliath is really not very strong, but it does get some internal damage in there. That'll be fine.
Yes, Commander.
And the Mauler is now going to step on forward, and this Emperor is becoming our primary target. We're going to go ahead and fire the Battle Pod, if we can. We're actually out of range. So we're just going to overheat a little bit and strip off as much armor off of that Emperor as we possibly can. That was not great, if I'm honest. Those rolls were mediocre at best. The Corsair is just going to slightly step forward here, but it's optimized for long range, so we're going to go for the Victor here. I'd love to laser off that torso. What do we got? Ammo explosion, but it was contained.
Nice. Got past the armor.
Okay, pulse laser destruction.
My
Sure.
heat sinks can't take much more of this.
Okay, the Stormcrow moves up. What do we fire on? Nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Okay. Does the Salamander have access to Ace Pilot? Hang on. Do careful maneuvers, attack ground, passive abilities, Tactician and Bandit. The answer to that is no. So we're going to move the Salamander over here where it is shielded. And we're just going to brace. Okay, the Victor stands up. No problem there. The question is, do we want to fight all of these reinforcement waves? We may just want to eliminate these guys. Oh, that's awkward. We may just want to eliminate these guys and get out of here before the reinforcements come in. May not be the worst of ideas. We're going to close in over here with the Orion. And we're kind of getting in the face of this Emperor, but I might still want to fire on the Victor. The answer is yes, I do want to fire on the Victor here.
Taking the shot.
That's a lot of internal damage.
That hit something.
He's panicked, knocked down, and I think he's gone. I think that might have been a pilot incapacitation or something along those lines. So the Awesome's going to move up this way. We need to be a little concerned about the field inhibitors on the heavy PPCs, but this is actually a perfect location to fire on that Emperor. Light him up. Oh, we still missed a PPC. Gross. Phase 14, the Emperor does not move quite yet. Stormcrow does. Does not fire. There's still that Cicada and that Banshee out there. But that's okay. No big deal there. I'm kind of thinking about just bailing and not dealing with these reinforcement waves. The Cicada closes in. Fires on the Battlemaster. Gets a little damage out there. Sure. Not too shabby.
I'm taking a pounding, Commander.
You're okay.
Standing by.
The Battlemaster is going to move up here. It does need to sink some
Roger
heat.
that.
And we're going to fire on the Emperor here. We're probably not going to fire the heavy laser, but everything else. Good armor shred on the Emperor and a knockdown. Very important. Fantastic. The Banshee moves up. Shoots at the boar's head. Does some damage to it. Okay.
Wow, that was bad.
I mean, the boar's head is shut down, so it's not shocking.
Commander?
The Mauler is going to position. I would like to find an open LOS position to fire on that Emperor. What is the actual odds here? Good enough.
Moving
I think
out.
it's unlikely that we stray shot. Obviously, we're not going to fire all these ER large lasers. We're just going to do something kind of like this.
Firing on target.
Excellent. Medium pulse laser destruction.
That one's gonna leave a mark.
And phase 13. What do they got? The Orion moves up, fires on the Emperor indirect. Does some decent damage there. 2 engine crits.
Yep.
And now, our Corsair can position, like, back over here. The light Gauss rifles are not going to be the most useful. And our heat is going to be up there. I'm going to not fire the pulse lasers. We're just going to do this and see if we can get him to eject. Not with both of those Gauss missing, though. So that's the second wound.
Scored a critical hit.
Sadly, he did not eject. But the Bull Shark is going to step
my way.
forward here. And I think the Bull Shark is going to drop artillery on this Banshee out here. It's still got a good amount of armor. Although a lot of that armor is now gone.
I'm starting to
Excellent.
cook.
The Azura moves up, doesn't do anything of note.
Commander?
We'll restart the
Powered
Boar's
up.
Head,
Here we go.
and that's that. The Goliath moves up, fires on that Emperor. Gets a few missiles in there. All of that is armor damage. Pretty unlikely to stop that Emperor from getting up. But the Emperor has lost a lot of weapon systems, so that's good. It moves forward. Goes for the Corsair. Misses everything. I like it. And then he ejects. Okay, cool. Sounds good to me. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll see if we feel like we can take these reinforcement waves or not. I'm kind of leaning towards we can, but we'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.